Yeah, Russ, just after the offense had a few struggles the last couple weeks, how good did it feel to get back out and function at this kind of level?
Well, I thought that we were really on top of it. Our tempo was great. We were in and out of the huddle. We were making plays. Guys were getting great job catching the football. DK had a great game. Swain made his touchdown. That was awesome. He's been working extremely hard. Demo scoring his touchdown. Disley getting back in the end zone. Obviously, Chris Carson had an unbelievable day. And Carlos was running hard too. So it was just a great thing, a collective effort on offense. We all were doing our part. I think also too as well, the offensive line did a tremendous job of trying to slow those guys down. Their rush defense was really good, and they're also with our pass game. They tried to do a lot of different covers, a lot of different looks, a lot of different things, and we were all over it.
You mentioned last week kind of when the offense and defense get going at the same time, you guys can be dangerous. Is this kind of what this team can look like if both sides are?
Yeah, it felt kind of like, I go back to 2012, that moment where we kind of had some, where the offense and defense were really married up together. And I think we went to Buffalo, and then I think we came back home maybe against Arizona or something like that. But we just felt like we were all together. And there were so many other plays that we could have had, on both sides, we felt like too. So we just, we stayed the course. We had a great week of practice. We were ready, we were prepared. We took on the challenge, kept our heads down, and just stayed focused on what we needed to do and execution. And it was a great day today.
Michael Sean.
Hey, Russ, the receivers gave DK an all-expense trip for his birthday, I guess. Were you in on that too, or do you get him something else for his birthday tomorrow?
No, that's all the receivers. That's all the receivers. I've taken DK to Cabo, Mexico. I'll give him another trip maybe one other day soon. that was all receivers.
Thanks.
Yep.
Bob Condotta.
Yeah, Russell. So what was it like just watching for the final quarter? It's been a long time since you haven't had to play in a game.
Yeah, it was kind of crazy because Austin, quarterback coach Austin, came up to me and said we're going to let Gino go in, and then Coach Carroll came up as soon as that was happening too. And it was, I don't know, probably 3 minutes to go in the third, maybe even more. I don't know, but it was still a third quarter, so that's definitely rare. And Gino deserves it. He's worked extremely hard. He's been a great friend, a great quarterback. And just great to have in the room. He has so much knowledge of the game, and I love him to death. He's, like I said, he's a great friend. He works so hard every day. He definitely deserves to get in there and make plays for us, and he did a really good job when he was in there.
Tim Booth.
Hey, Russ, two things. Did Brian let you call any plays in the fourth quarter like the preseason in the past? Did you have a drive you get to call? And then it seemed like it was more of a concerted effort that with some shorter throws or quicker throws earlier in the game. Was that, how much of the game plan was that today?
To the play calling thing, I didn't call any plays in the fourth. Shadi was calling those. He was on it all day. He had called a great game, Coach Shadi did. He's tremendous on his stuff, and he was really ready for this week and ready to roll. So we had a great week of prep. In terms of our game plan, we knew that obviously with new defensive coordinator, everything else, we knew they were going to do a lot of different things probably, and we weren't really sure what they were going to stick to. And sure enough, they did everything. I mean, they blitzed, they rolled coverages, they played 2, they played 3, they played 33 Tampa Cloud. They did all these different things, all these different coverages, man to man. They pressured and brought the safety. So they did a lot of different things, which we're used to seeing teams that try to challenge in coverages and stuff like that. And so we were on top of it. I think we mixed up our game plan. We in terms of running and passing and throwing it quick and throwing it deep and throwing it in between. And we hit some really good things. I think Tyler had some key third down conversions. That was huge. We did a really good job on third down. To be able to do, I think we were 5 or 7 or something like that on third down. Early on, I think that was key. Just to keep getting those first downs, and then anytime we get in the red zone, let's light it up and run it, throw it, let's score touchdowns. And one of the things I always tell the guys, touchdowns only. So making sure we're scoring touchdowns, and that was really key for us today.
Joe Fan.
Russ, was there any sort of mindset shift in this game, whether it's tempo, trying to pour it on, or was it strictly an execution thing?
Mind shift from what? What do you mean, Joe? Just so I'm understanding, just so I answer.
Just in terms of just a mindset of trying to go more tempo, get to the line, move, keep things going, and then just keeping the foot on the gas, so to speak.
Yeah, I think there was what we wanted to do is stay on the gas. We wanted to keep the tempo in and out of the huddle. If you notice, I was kind of going a little bit quicker, and making sure that we were getting all the plays. I was at the line of scrimmage calling plays I think that always helps us. I think that we really challenged. I think we had an amazing 2-minute drive too. Went up right down the field. Those moments are really good for us, I think, too, as well. It really challenges the defense, especially when they want to be multiple and do all these different things. I think it really makes it difficult for them too, as well. More so than anything else. And I think we got such great receivers and tight ends and running backs that it really makes it difficult for them. And so I think the tempo thing was really a concerted effort. I think also too, as well. For us just to execute and do things right and be on it and be on it and be on it, make all the right calls and, everybody, just be on time and, on the money and just make our plays. And we did that, for pretty much the whole night.
Larry Stone.
Yeah, Russell, you were maybe under a little more scrutiny this week after last week's performance. Did you feel that and feel like you had to respond to that? And how do you feel about your performance overall?
I don't really worry about the scrutiny. I think more than anything else, it's part of the job, I guess, right? It's when you want to be the best in the world, if you don't have your best day, people are going to say you're not the best in the world that day, So it's part of the process. I think you just keep believing, you keep just striving for greatness, keep striving for making the next shot, the next moment, the next play, the next game, the next win. And stay simple-minded in that sense. I don't get too high, get too low. I told you guys all the time, I remain neutral. I know there's going to be great days, a lot more great days than tough days. But when we do have a tough day, there's a better day ahead. And so I think that's my whole thing around the neutral mindset part of it for me. I don't waver. I know who I am. I know what kind of player I am. I know the consistency that I bring. I know how much work and how many hours of film I spend on it. I know how many times I get up early in the morning every day and all I do is think about the game and how we process. And so, this is what I love to do. And if anybody's a critic, of anything, it's me more than anything else. I always want to be the best. You want to make every play, make every throw, make every moment. And it's not going to always happen. But I'm going to move on to the next one. And I think that's one of the things that I definitely do a really good job of is, and I'm not going to waver. I'm always going to move on to the next moment, move on to the next situation, move on to the next game and win or lose. And we've won a lot, so I definitely know how to do that. And I don't like losing, that's for sure. I hate losing. But it's part of the process sometimes, and I think it continues to build you up. And so I think that the biggest thing for us is, I was reading, I'm not trying to get all biblical on you guys, but I was reading the scripture this morning, just, Jesus says, don't be afraid, just believe. And so to me, it's like one of those things that, you can't be afraid trying to be great. In life, if you ever want to be successful, whatever you want to do, there's going to be some tough moments along the way. There's going to be some things, but, just believe, and so that's just kind of been my mentality. And I'm just grateful that God's given me the opportunity to do it.
Curtis Crabtree.
Yeah, Russell, the four touchdowns today, you passed your own record for most in franchise history. What does that mean to you, if anything? And then on top of that, how much can a game like this kind of just re-springboard the offense from a confidence standpoint to get you guys back rolling again?
Well, I think our offense is feeling great about what we're doing. I think we had a tough game last week. Obviously, we felt like we were getting in the groove. We played Arizona. We won against them. Played really well. We went to the Eagles. We felt like we had some more touchdowns in there. We had probably 3 more touchdowns in that game. So that would have really catapulted us. And then obviously we had the tough one last week. But I think that it's like I said, we can't get too high, too low. Obviously, to be able to throw 4 touchdown passes, and then obviously for us to run 1, 2, Chris, that was huge for us, and just keep that momentum going. So we're excited about where we are. We're excited about where we're headed, and we got a tough game this upcoming week, obviously, with the Redskins and all that. And so it'll be a great matchup, and so we got a lot of respect for them. And I know Coach Ron Rivera, he's as good as it gets at the game. So, we know it'll be a battle, but I think that we're going to enjoy this tonight. We're going to celebrate it. We're going to, and just be with our families and stuff like that. But just, I think it's a great time just to stay focused on the mission. And the mission's to win it all. And there's no easy trip. There's no easy game. There's no easy moment. Every game is a championship game, and we'll be prepared. We'll be ready, and we'll keep going.
Art Teal.
Russ, your longest completion was 20 yards, but you killed it on the intermediate routes. How much of that was design?
I think that they were playing for some of the deep routes. They were trying to, cover all the deep stuff. So we just, hit everything intermediate and stuff like that. And that's what we can do. We can do it all. We can hit the short stuff. We can hit the intermediate game. We can hit the long game. We almost had that long one down at the sideline with Demo. He's going to catch that next time, and we know that. So those are great things for us. I think that we were so good in the running game, and also so good more so in the red zone than anything else. with the football, I think that was really huge for us today. So that was an exciting night for sure.
Greg Bell.
Russ, what was most assuring by today for all that you guys accomplished coming off last week? What do you think you can take most valuably from this going forward?
I think the best thing that we can take, one is, our mindset, being neutral and not being too high, too low. I think the second thing is I would say is like I said, just believe, I think that we know who we are. We know who we're capable of. We know what we can do. We're getting better. Sometimes it doesn't always feel like that along the way. I think about to all the years we've played here. I've been here for a long time. There's some moments in there that sometimes you're like, dang, how did we lose that game or how did we lose that moment? But it catapults you into the next moment and gets you ready for the next thing. And so, and so I think for us, the best thing we can do is stay high, high in our energy. It's tough. We don't have the fans. We don't get to feel them as much, as we normally do. So, we don't get to see people in the street as much when we drive around the city or whatever it may be. We as athletes, we feed off of that too a little bit, and so it's keeping everybody, staying focused on the mission, obviously staying healthy and then also, preparing to be the best in the world. And there's a lot of great teams and things that we're trying to do. And it's not an easy mission. So I think the thing that we can take is we're always responsive. We're always responsive along the journey. And I think that's because of our mindset.
All right, two more for Russell, Jackie Montgomery, and then Ben Arthur.
Hey, Russ, you touched on it, but what was working so well for the run game today?
Well, I think that we were hitting the downhill runs. We were able to get first downs. Our run backs were physical. Our offensive line did a great job. I mean, I think about all 5 guys up front did a great job of just keeping our positive runs going. The key is not having any negative runs along the way, right? You don't want to have, -2, -3, or -1 yard runs. We kept getting 3, 4, and that's a key part in the running game, and it really helps us out. So I think that was a key part along the way.
Russ, you guys obviously got win number 9 today. With that victory, you're now the first quarterback in history to have a winning record in each of your first 9 seasons. What does it mean to you accomplishing that, like just that reputation you've established?
I think it means everything. I think the whole purpose of why we play, the whole purpose why I wake up, the whole purpose why I play this game is to win, is to get up and help our team win. And I think that's super important. I think that's the #1 important record. That and Super Bowls, we want to win Super Bowls too. So I think, I'm grateful, obviously having, great teammates along the way. I think putting the work in, I love this game, Ben. I think, spent so many hours. People only knew how many hours I spent on it, it's fascinating, how many times how many hours I spent on just taking care of my body so I'm available every game and prepared with my performance team, or how much film I got to watch, and how many things you got to do. It doesn't just happen. It doesn't just happen. Nothing happens by accident, So the mentality that you got to bring every day, the mentality you got to bring in the offseason, the mentality you got to bring on the field when it's going your way, when it's not going your way, it's critical. It's critical to success. And I think that for me, is remaining neutral, believing in who I am and what I can do, and just obviously being available. Obviously, that's a key part of it. Just to be able to play, every game is a really important thing, and so you don't take that for granted. And I thank God every day. That's the end of the day for me. I thank God that He's given me this opportunity to play this game, the game I love, in a great city with amazing fans and teammates and all that. It's a blessing for sure. And so, and I feel like it's just the beginning. So. Gotta keep going.
Thank you, Russell.
Thank you, guys. Go Hawks.